is Tony from Bikeberry. We got my man Moses here. He's been a bike builder for a long time, since he was around 13 or so, and he's bit, the bug has bit him, and he's been building ever since. Of course, custom fabrication is his thing. So I want you to welcome my friend Moses. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, man. Thank you for doing this. So you started when you were a kid, right?
Yeah.
You've got super cool bikes in the background, and you have a couple of frames like in progress bikes that are there.
Yeah, I have this custom frame right here. You can't really see, but it's a custom stretch frame that I basically made everything minus the head tube. Because I wanted integrated bearings, basically like
Got it.
BMX style. But besides that, everything is pretty much hand bend and made and welded. And I'm also have another one here. I'm pretty sure you can see it laying down. It's kind of like the red one here. And that one, that's more of a board track, basically like this right here.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, and you make the tank and everything?
Yeah, I weld the tank. I use flux core wire, and I don't have a TIG, or I don't braze, but if I had the equipment, I probably could, but I only have just the welder, so I'm just using that. And luckily, so far, the couple tanks that I made several more besides these. They never had a leaking problem when it came to like motor vibration or anything. It just they last pretty good.
That's awesome. All right, well, let's go back to how you started. Like, how did you start? What was the first thing that happened to you to go, you know what? That sounds like something I want to do.
Well, when I was a little kid, when the American Chopper, the Orange County Chopper bicycle came out at Walmart, I saw it. I'm like, man, that bike is so cool. It's like a motorcycle, but it's just not. It's a bicycle. I was just like, how cool would that be with the motor? And I told my dad, hey, how hard do you think it would be to actually put an engine on that frame? And this was like 2004, whenever the year the Orange County Chopper came out.
Right. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, from all the bikes they had, Mongoose, Huffies, that Schwinn just popped, and it was just way different, all chrome, flames. And my dad built me that bike. He actually put a motor on it and everything. He told me, it's not that hard. He built a custom jack shaft. And after a while, when my dad built it, he's like, yeah, it's cool, but the thing is, it's not street legal. It had like a Briggs and Stratton, like 6.5 horse, and it wasn't street legal. So I was kind of disappointed, because I really wanted to just ride around. And I was young. I was like, this is 2004, so I don't know how old was I, like 5 or something. So I was gonna be a little kid just riding around everywhere, kind of like that Little Rascal, just pretty much just going everywhere on that thing. And,
okay, that's amazing. So, what's the first time you saw a motorized bike? Was it your own or somebody else's?
I was in middle school. I've already entered 7th grade. I was looking at Craigslist because I like old bikes, and I was just looking, and I saw this motorbike for sale with an engine, those from like a Bikeberry engine, and I was like, wow, this is my first time ever seeing it. I never heard about those. And in the description, it said it's 49 cc's, pedal assist. It's classified as a motorized bicycle, no license required. So I was just like, whoa. And then my birthday was coming up, so I bothered my dad, and I said, hey, can I get that for my birthday? It's street legal. And he's like, no, it's not. And we went, look at it. We saw the laws, on the internet through the phone.
Right.
So I ended up buying it. And what I did, because weeks prior, before I got that motorbike, I built a bicycle, like a rat rod bicycle. I just got the frame. I got rims for it. I got tires. I got all the parts. I painted it up, put it together, and it had no motor, but it was a bobber. It was like the seat was down to the frame, the bars were upside down, and I got the bike that I got for my birthday. So I put that engine. I took apart the engine. and everything. I just put it on the other frame, and then I started cruising the other bike, and I got like at that time when I was birdie learning, within like a couple of weeks, I was able to go like 35. Just playing with it, just having fun, going back and forth, breaking it in.
Right. Okay. So wow. Okay. So you transferred a bunch of parts onto another bike and got it rolling, basically, right?
Yeah. I was happy, as being like cool. 12 or 13 on a bicycle, learning what's a clutch, learning how to release the clutch, trying to pop it, trying to get it started. And there was times where I got so frustrated where I'm like, this thing's never gonna run. This thing's never gonna run. Just pedaling. But I just you have to figure it out. It's an engine. So it's just basic things like spark, gasoline, and compression. As long as you have all those three things, your bike should run pretty good. Besides the carburetor being a little dirty, you just gotta clean that.
Sure.
Clean it.
Yeah. Okay. So the Craigslist thing was your first time ever even seeing one in person when you got that. Okay. So just like me, you like a lot of older influences. Obviously, you did an Indian, tribute bike is what I would call it, right?
Yeah. And the next one I'm building is going to be an Excelsior auto cycle.
Yeah. So Excelsior,
like all gray, not this primer gray, but nice gray. And in the middle, it's going to have red, and it's going to have the logo, the decal, and I have a seat for it and everything. So I'm ready. Like I'm almost there, but I'm just, I guess, delaying.
Yeah. No, I get you. That's cool. That's going to be really good. So, I guess as you look back, what are your mechanical influences for the ideas that you have putting into the bikes?
Well, my biggest influence was basically my dad. He would always build hot rods, Impalas, different cars. Just he was really into building cars, and I thought this was normal. I grew up thinking, okay, everybody builds cars, but later on, when you figure out only certain people do this, and it's like it takes people with like some talent or understanding, like learning how things work, and figuring out obstacles that they have to go over to move forward. Because anybody could just buy something, but to actually build it or have part of doing it, it does take some intelligence to do that.
Yeah. Well, and do you think also like just a desire and drive to mess with all that stuff?
Yeah, just also like growing up, I know like American Chopper was a big show on the internet, and everybody saw it and everybody wanted a bike with flames,
Right. Big influence then, right?
Yeah. So everybody wanted bikes with flames or with power, loud noise. And seeing one of these, it's almost like having a real chopper, even though it's like the motor's like zoom, but still,
Yeah. Still cool. So do you have your first bike still?
My first motorbike?
Yeah.
You know what? I think that one, it slowly just disappeared because I was either taking parts off of it or doing something.
I got you. Yeah.
So I don't have it, but I also have like some photos of different bikes and things like that. But
Yeah, I got you. So obviously, again, I'm going to go back to the Indian. Now you're talking about building Excelsior. How has history influenced you? Historical things, mechanical, motorcycles, cars. Like, how's that influenced you?
It really is cool. I like it. I like the fact that they have all these stories. Like if you watch History Channel or see documentaries about these bikes being made back in the day, how Indians were more for speed and Harleys were more to be dependable and reliable, and how seeing them, Harley took the different approach, saying, you know what, our bike's not as fast, but we want it dependable to take over the bumps. So they put shocks on their bike to absorb. So that's how they won a certain race. I don't know. I saw this on the internet. Cool. I could be wrong. I wasn't there in the 1900s to say, oh yeah, Harley won that race. I don't know, but the historical factor, like just the information, it's really cool.
Yeah. Well, and for me, it helps guide on something like style, and everything that I think stands the test of time, right? Like,
Oh yeah, because the style, like Schwinn bikes, the way the dual bars go in the middle, like you don't see that on a modern bicycle. Modern bicycles are more like just a triangle frame,
yep,
and a lot of stuff are more influenced by the BMX now, but also
yep,
it's just different. It's just a lot of different styles, but you could tell when you see a Schwinn bicycle, it's a classic. You know, you can just tell it
yep.
has that look.
And it always looks cool, right? Like,
Yeah.
no matter what decade we're in, we're like, that's cool, right? I love that. All right. So how many bikes have you built up to this point? Do you know?
I think I built about, I don't know, 25 bikes. I'm not a
That's a
big
lot.
builder. Yeah, no, I'm not a big builder. I know there's people that build over 100 bikes. And
Sure.
because I think those people are the ones that will buy the engine kit and buy a bicycle from Walmart, and then they'll just sell it, you know? And
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
not really, I'm building it to sell it. I'm more building it for the build, you know, just to do something different that I haven't did, to experiment. And then after I
Right.
build them, it's either people stop me and say, "Hey man, I want to buy one," or I just realize, you know what, if I could get some money out of it, I'll get some money, and sometimes I'll sell it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're a lot like me. It's more for that specific project than I'm just building something to sell it.
Yeah, like I done a couple flip bikes where I would actually get big projects supposedly for motorbikes, basically where the guy has just the engine in a box
Mm-hmm.
or a basket, basically a basket case, and the frame and the forks are bent or something's like that. And I would get them, and then I would get a hold of these parts or repair them or do what I got to do. And then I'll build the whole bike, and I'll even like give the whole bike a fresh coat of paint. And
Mm-hmm.
at one point, I was into pinstriping a lot, so I would do a lot of custom pinstripe on my bikes. So
Okay. That's cool. Okay. Wow. Yeah. That's a whole nother world, right?
yeah, right.
All right. What's your favorite part of a whole bicycle project? Is there a singular part, or is there just stages of favorite parts?
Well, I think I like basically like the overall finish, the stance or the look or the appearance, the way the bike kind of speaks for itself. You know, I like the bikes to kind of have their own personalities, even though I could just build a stock bike, put it together. Uh, but a part I really do like you say, a specific part, or sometimes like either the CNC aluminum heads. Those are pretty cool. I think the way
Yeah.
they look with the fins, and I know there's different people that actually make these with different fins and different designs, and I think they're pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
say a specific part.
Yeah. Okay. So I love what you said, because you said more about the stance, the overall aesthetic, and all that. Like, once you see that come together, like, that's everything, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I totally feel that too. All right, let's talk more about okay, so the one in the very back, is that like a F-Zero style bike? What's that? Can you
I'm not sure if that's what it's classified. I actually got this frame used online. The guy claimed he never ran it. He just
Okay.
mocked it up, and then he just took it apart. It didn't smell like it had gas in the tank ever.
Mm,
So I kind of said, okay, you know, I'll take the chance unless he did a good flush. And what I did, it had this coating on the bare metal. It was almost like a clear coat, and I had to take all that coating off, and I basically water sand all that coating off, and then I hand polished it. And I got lucky. I went to go buy a bicycle frame, and this guy had a lot of parts, and he had those forks,
mm.
and he had some Fox forks, and I'm like, oh, like, would you sell these Fox forks? He goes, oh, those, you know, I think I kind of want a lot, you know, like, well, what's a lot? And he's like, close to like 300. And I'm like, okay, that is kind of a lot for just forks.
Yeah.
But they're Fox forks. And then he said, but I got those forks. I'm like, oh, cool. What you want for those then? you could just have them because I bought a frame off of him. So I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Man.
He's like, I'll just throw it in.
Yeah, but it was a BMX bike. But yeah, he threw in those forks, so that helped me out. The rims I actually build. I laced.
Okay.
I went with the red anodized hoop, stainless steel spokes because I didn't want chrome spokes because they rust.
Yeah.
Then I went with black nipples for the spokes.
Yeah.
To give it a contrast where it's like black, chrome, and red. You know, just black, chrome, and red.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I did.
Okay. Yeah. So you ordered parts. You found parts to make even the wheels. So
Yeah. And like even like the bearing cups, they're red. The headsets red. The spacers, the stem, the seat clamp, the engine covers. I think I actually got those in Bikeberry, the BBR tuning valve, aluminum covers.
Yeah.
Those are a nice part to add for style.
Yeah. I love that the theme is consistent all the way through. Cool. So the stretch frame, that's all hand bent, hand welded, the whole thing. What's the overall? Can you go through like your overall vision for it?
Well, basically, it's hard to see. There's gonna be drop out. Coming out from the bottom half outward. Okay. And the motor is actually going to sit maybe right here where I'm going to decide to put the motor. Instead of having it traditionally in the front, I'm going to put it in the back to have a shorter chain radius. Yeah. So I have less chain slap and it'll just be more direct to the engine. Yeah. And I'm going to put the crankset or the around right here in this area. Yeah. About right here. So the actual bicycle chain is going to be long. And I'm going to build the gas tank, which goes in here. Got it. Kind of like that. Yeah. With a bend, you know. So, and then I'm going to decide I want to have a floating tank or I'm going to weld another bar here for the tank to go inside and hug it. But this one is actually, I'm building for a competition and on Facebook. It's a thing called China Motor Mayhem. Motor Mayhem. And they're doing a build-off contest. And everyone's invited to participate, to be in the build-off, but you have to post a picture of your frame being a bare frame, and it has to be a new build. It can't just be like a build you did years ago, and then you're gotta be fresh. Telling everyone that it's brand new, you know. But it has to be a new build. So I'm going to build it for that build. It's been getting some rust because it's been actually in the backyard getting rusted. Yeah. And but it's all new metal, and basically I just have to give it a nice little sand, and then I'm going to paint it either like a candy or a metallic color. So okay. Yeah. So it'd be all like super clean looking and everything. Yeah. And then like I have a motorcycle bobber seat. The little small ones you get on eBay. Yeah. Like, I don't know, $20 or $30. I'm going to make custom mounts. So the seat's going to sit about right here. And I'm going to have springs so it could go like, it's going to be rigid, but the seats are going to give me a little bit cushion. You know? Yeah. Okay. That's awesome. Wow. Okay. So, yeah. What kind of forks on the front? I'm going to go with triple trees and with a front 27.5 tire with front disc. Got it. And then on the rear is going to be a 24-inch with a 3.0 fat tire. It's pretty fat. Okay. So you could also probably post a picture of how it looked when I mocked it up with the forks. Yeah. I think I sent you some photos of that. Yeah, I'll look at that and make sure I add it in here. Oh man. Okay. Yeah. Wow, bro. So you have a YouTube channel and everything. Tell us about that. When did you start that? I started about maybe a year ago, and I did it because I was getting into having a hobby again, and I was just like, I'm going back into the motorbike hobby and customizing bike hobbies because I remember as a kid in middle school I would watch YouTube videos at the library of people building their BMX bikes, and I would build BMX bikes back then too, and I was just like, man, I want to do a video. So I think my first upload was a Mongoose DJ something. It was a BMX bike. I painted it and I showed it when it was primered, how I sanded it, painted it, put all the parts on. And but yeah, I think that was my first YouTube video. No, actually my first YouTube video, I went to a bicycle shop called Don's Bicycle Shop, and I bought a 27.5 Fairdale Taj. It's a BMX bike.
Yeah.
So it's a big bike, but it's like a BMX bike cruiser. And
yeah.
I got that bike, and that was my first video right there.
Okay. Okay. So what's your channel called?
Yeah, check out my channel, people. If you're watching this video and you're stuck around, it's Mozez with Mozez, Cen at Cen and Valley. So Mozez, Cen-Valley. But within the C in the valley, there's a little line in the middle.
Yeah, we'll put a link for it in the description below.
Or something, how they do on YouTube, right?
right,
right here.
It's good. It's good. Yeah, we'll put a link below, everybody. That way you can see, go check out his work and everything. Wow, man, I'm really impressed. I appreciate you. I know this took a while for us to get this going, but you're awesome to work with. Yeah, man, this is amazing. So this is going to go right into the series of the Build It Custom. And the goal here, guys, is that we want inspiration for you to foresee your build as you're building it. So then you problem solve. And just as Mozez has done, he's already thinking of all the things that he needs to do and what he wants to do for his specific builds. You're seeing it right here. So hopefully this is inspiration for you guys.
Yeah, actually this bike here started off as a drawing, and
there you go.
I'm not the best drawer three-dimensionally, so I just did a flat drawing. First I did just lines, and then I did like fill up the lines as tubulars, and I played with some designs, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna shoot for this. Hopefully I get something close to that. And I think I got pretty close to, like, after a while, the vision slowly changed, and I think I got it where I wanted.
You started getting all starting to come together, right?
Exactly. And actually, maybe if you guys don't mind, I don't know if you could do that, because you're working with Bikeberry. This is a nonprofit thing. It's on China Motor Mayhem. They're also going to do a race down in Willow Springs, California.
Yeah, we'll put that on there. Yeah,
people love to just, even if you're not the fastest bike in the world, but to go out there and go on a track and compete with others and try to race it, it's fun. It's like Mario Karts, but in real life.
That's right. That's right. Yep. And if you go out there and record it, then it'd be like we're there if we can't go. Right. Yep. Well, awesome. All right. Well, let's close this out, man. Mozez, I appreciate you. You're awesome. Keep inspiring people. Keep inspiring us to build. Yeah. Check it out, guys. Check it out.
Yeah. All right, man. Have a good day.
Take care, bro.
All right, cool. Thank you for the opportunity. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.